Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Prax and I specialize in functional neurology with a subspecialty in peripheral neuropathy. And if you've received this email and this video, the point of these videos is to help you with some information, some critically important information to help you beginning your process of the reversal of your peripheral neuropathy. So I've been working with patients in neuropathy in our area since 2010, and I want to give you some tips, some pointers, some things that you can do, even without coming in here, that may be able to help you begin on the reversing process. First thing I want to talk about today is the importance of food. More than likely, since you are probably an American, I haven't done any international peripheral neuropathy cases so far, more than likely you're eating the standard American diet. And if you abbreviate that, that is S-A-D, and that is SAD. And if you've even looked around, if you've read the newspapers, if you've looked at Google or anything, you've noticed that Americans have a problem in obesity. In fact, in the year, I think it was 2015, obese people have outnumbered people who are only overweight. And if you're having peripheral neuropathy, chances are you were born probably in the 50s, maybe 40s, 30s, maybe even in the 20s. You've been around for a while. You remember what people used to look like in the 50s and 60s. They were thin. And you may look around now and notice, wow, there's really not too many Americans who are so thin. How did that happen? What have they done to us? What have we done to ourselves? Well, the answer comes in the SAD diet that we're eating. It's the standard American diet. And the first most important tip I can give to you that gets us probably 50 to 70% of our results is with proper nutrition. So the first tip I'm going to give in these series is nutrition. And how can I do it better than giving credence and telling you the books that I read? These are the books that I study. This is the foundation of the program. It starts with nutrition, and the diet that we follow pretty closely is called the paleo diet. So I would highly recommend you pick you pick up the book and study it, read it once, twice, 10 times. This book is so critically important. It's written by the author Loren Cordain. He's a PhD. The concept behind the paleo diet is this. Our DNA, our genes have been around, or humans have been around for hundreds of thousands, and some, if you go back far enough, millions of years. Our Paleolithic ancestors have been back a long time, and what Dr. Cordain and many scientists realize is that our DNA, what we're structured and what we're engineered to eat, really has not changed that much. We know, according to Darwin and many others, that there is an evolutionary change, but the food supply that Americans are now eating has changed so fast, especially in your lifetime, especially in the last 20 years, but certainly 50 years, it has changed so dramatic with genetically modified food. You probably didn't have that when you were growing up. The dairy that you got was probably from a local farm. It wasn't pasteurized, homogenized. There was cream on the top. It was organic, grass-fed beef, grass-finished. Cows ate grass. That's what they ate. You got a great source of omega-3s, etc., etc. The wheat that you're now eating, it's not the same as what it was when you were growing up. It's been genetically modified, hybridized. They've figured out ways of cramming more wheat per acre, and in doing so, they've actually changed the genetic makeup of the wheat. They've genetically modified soy, corn, you name it. It is not the same as it was when you grew up. And Dr. Cordain talks about that in his book. He says Americans have an overweight and obese problem, and it's not our fault. It's been changed on it. So the food that you grew up on is not the same. So I would highly encourage this book. Another book, if you want a great book, is called Wheat Belly. And guess what the contents of this are all about? The reason that Americans are so overweight and obese, according to Dr. Davis, who is a cardiologist, is from the wheat that we're getting. He says pretty much the same thing. Human genes haven't really changed that much, but what we're feeding ourselves with these highly refined foods called wheat and gluten, he talks about, that's what's making us overweight and that's what's making us obese. This is not a talk on being overweight and obese, but having too much blood glucose, which leads to a blood glucose regulation problem, and the penultimate problem there is diabetes. The ultimate problem is death. but diabetes is the #1 cause of peripheral neuropathy. Now you might be thinking, I don't have diabetes, I'm good. Yes, but there's phases of that. You may not have full-blown diabetes type 2, but you might not be regulating your blood sugars quite so well, and I'm telling you, it's based on the food you're eating. Get the book. People wonder, well, what do I eat? I don't know. If I don't eat wheat, you know, the FDA and the CDC and the pyramid and everything, at the bottom of the pyramid it says, eat wheat, whole wheat's good for us, it's good for our heart. Well, you know what? Consult with Dr. Davis, the cardiologist, because he takes his people off wheat and they get better. But Dr. Davis wrote a cookbook as well, Wheat Belly Cookbook. If you want more data, you can do the research. Another great book is written by a neurologist. He's a nerve specialist, and his name is Dr. Perlmutter, and he writes a book. I love the title. It's called Grain Brain. Pretty catchy, right? Well, he talks about ADD, ADHD, cognitive problems, Alzheimer's, Lou Gehrig's disease, and you know what? I'll stretch it a little further and say that wheat is also, and gluten is also causing problems like peripheral neuropathy. So that's the tip for today. Start looking into diet, okay? Check out Wheat Belly, check out Grain Brain, and definitely take a look at Paleo Diet. If you're interested in learning more about these diets and what are revolutionary ways of caring for and reversing peripheral neuropathy, we do have an 85% success rate here. Give us a call or hit reply. Shoot me an email or give us a call. You probably saw my ad somewhere in a newspaper, Facebook, or TV, or somewhere. But we are here to help you out. Yes, we do have a great success rate, and that's because we look at people from a people perspective. Instead of just covering up your symptoms, we work on digging deep, finding out the cause of your problem, and then beginning the reversal process. I'm Dr. Brian Prax. I'm functional neurology, and I look forward to helping you sometime in the near future, and I hope this video has helped you as well. Have a great day.